Amazing. It's my new catchphrase. Welcome to a Saturday afternoon in the Oilverse. Fresh off my appearance on the Fallen State podcast with Jesse, the controversial Jesse Lee Peterson. But we're here. We're here to talk about it. We're here to talk about wrestling, hockey. We got the Kings and the Florida Panthers playing in Quebec City in 1 hour. So this will be a tight stream, babies. In and out. And hopefully we can stir up some good conversation and have a good old time. By the way, if you're local in Los Angeles, I will be at the Comedy Store tonight, closing out the main room. I thought about a Zoom. Oh, shit. We got a legend in the stream, the great Corn Dip. We got Staggy Waggy. Mama. Corn Dip, I only hope one day to get your numbers. Impressive. But I don't hate. I'm happy. You've always been good to me. Now, Corn Dip, we don't talk about you-know-what in here. This is a Dabbleverse free stream. And that is Lois. For those of you just joining us, Lois is in the house eating her lunch. So I hope you guys enjoyed me on the Fallen State with Jesse Lee Peterson. Stagwar not effing around. Stagwar $2. Shout out to Jeff Danish. I still talk to Jeff. I love it. That is a good neon sign. I've got to say, Corn Dip, I might get maybe 30 people in here max, but I love the neon sign. It is well worth the $496 I paid for it. And if anyone in this stream needs a neon sign, I highly recommend, and I don't get a cut, I don't get a discount on my next sign, Radical Neon on Melrose. I'm sure they ship. Radikal. Yeah, I mean, I understand what Jesse Lee is about. You know, he is a troll. Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do, Staggy. You want to send her my dick pic? That's not my life anymore. They probably need a discount Coke. With all the fentanyl flowing around here. I mean, I'm sure if you called them up and said, hey, Earl Skakel sent me, maybe they'll give you free shipping or something. I don't know. I've only used them that one time. Of course, I'm waiting. I'm going to an open house tomorrow that does have a area perfect for, a blank canvas behind me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, of course, a couple of years ago, I knew two of the three people who died with the famous LA cocaine overdose. And thank you, Staggy. Shout out I still speak to Jeff Danish. We are, I believe he moved back home. I'm not quite sure on that, but that's the word on the street. He's got a family now, 2 kids, lovely mom, the fight doctor. She's come over here several times to watch UFC and whatnot back in the day. And so I'm friends with both Jeff and Ryan, so I still don't know what the beef was about, and I don't want to say I don't care, but I don't like getting involved in other people's business. Are you ready to rock? I don't know if this is a super chat or just a super sticker. How's it going? Going pretty well. Thank you very much. Are you ready to rock? Daddy Man, how's our beautiful Lois? Lois is, she's surviving. She got a new cut, and they cleaned her teeth and all that stuff, the nails, the booty, and I would, she just went on like an hour walk, no problem. So uh, it's just she's an elderly dog, but I think she's got a couple years left. Are you ready? I forgot to do this. It was William Zoom. Right now, Staggy, she is sleeping, so I don't like to disturb her. She's on the hardwood floor, and I will bring her on camera at some point. Yeah, thank you. Are you ready? I'm doing. I mean, I love doing the streams. I'm just, sometimes I have voiceover work and comedy gigs where I have to travel. Good for you. I mean, I won't say I just woke up, but I I woke up about noon my time, so I'm still, I think what is it? Maybe about 8 months into streaming. I'm still trying to figure out how to get more people in here. Hopefully the Jesse Lee Peterson podcast. That's probably my biggest interview I've ever done in terms of going on a big podcast. I mean, he's got, and if you look at his engagement on Twitter and Instagram and the Fallen State page, it checks out. So it's like, I think the Fallen State Instagram page has like close to 600,000 followers. So, hopefully I can take care of business a little better. I don't go to Gabriel anymore. I go to Waxology in West Hollywood. Um, Wayne Fraser in town. What up? Um, Jesse Lee's studio. It could be used for a special, but it's got no vibe because it's probably seats about. You could probably jam, since I think Jesse would let me jam it in there with people. You could probably fit 200 people in there and it'd be knee deep, balls to ball. But there's no vibe, and it's not in the greatest part of town. It's an option, and he'd probably let me do it for free, 100%. But you want to walk in, and I don't know what. I don't think they show really the non-stage area on the podcast, but it's just like a big room with no energy. I think everyone's asking me that, is Jesse real, or is it to coin a wrestling term, work? Um, I don't know. I think it's 50-50. Like, I think he really is misogynistic. And then he'll ask you a question like, did Big Mama Obama eat all the ribs? That's just him trying to get me to say something stupid. Um, is he that racist? I don't know. That was my first time ever meeting him. I think he does a lot of it for shtick. He kind of, I'm sure those of you who are in the Dabbleverse or Dabbleverse adjacent, know Alex Primetime Stein, Pimp on a Blimp. He's like a black Alex Stein, and if you are familiar with a local LA talk show in the 80s, Wally George, who was really the um, father of combat television. It was half was fake, half was real. Like, he really was a pretty big conservative, but he also had some phony guests on, and he was like a cross between maybe Sean Hannity and Morton Downey Jr. Um, so I mean, I liked Wally George better than Mort Staggy. But Wally George, I think, was more local to LA people. I mean, I know he was syndicated, but I'm not sure in how many stations. But um, it was pretty funny. Yeah, Art Bell. Yeah, Dowdy's ankle. It's a bummer. Broken ankle, basically a fracture. And at his age, I think he's 34, and he's an old 34 because he's been in the league since he's 18. Um, well, I can't say that word. Are you ready to rock? But well, at least not on a stream. Hello. Yeah, I mean, it's not really surprising Morton Downey died of lung cancer, I believe. I mean, you just, my mom, she started off with lung cancer, but she smoked probably a pack a day, and then, it spreads and it went to her brain. And, when, because do you see the color of my skin? Let's not get me, Earl can say, well, I can't say what I want, but I also don't want my stream to be taken down. Um, so we try and keep it. Did your dad smoke? He did, and then he got throat cancer and just fucking quit cold turkey. Cold turkey. Um, and it never came back. Are you ready to rock? $3. I believe that's a super sticker. Thank you very much. Lung cancer is weird because, you like Eric Carr, the drummer from Kiss, he died of lung cancer. He didn't smoke. But who knows what he's breathing, playing in clubs, I mean, I know in my 80s, late 80s, early 90s club days, I breathed in an incredible amount of secondhand smoke. Now, I don't think it affected me, but still, it was not fun to breathe in. Um, well, I'm sorry to hear that, William. Well, but it's also my mom was not the healthiest person, to be honest. I mean, I remember even as a child, I would like touch her forearm, like right there, and she had these big golf ball like bumps, tumors clearly. Now that I look back, and she didn't really go to doctors a lot, so. I'm not saying it's her fault, but like she might have. Well, I don't know if she'd still be alive now because she'd be about in her early 80s, but like she could have lived longer. Um, Earl, how did your dad build the skate? Well, I wish I was as rich as people thought I was. But basically, my grandfather was one of the very few people to make money in the Depression era. Um, he would drive by oil refineries and ask them for their waste. Can I buy your waste? And they thought he was fucking crazy. So they just gave it to him and he turned it into carbon, graphite, so golf clubs, the tennis rackets that you see today, hockey sticks, of course. My TV stand is probably 90% graphite. I mean, I don't know if it'd be right to say my grandfather invented carbon, but he helped. So, you know, that's how the Skakel fortune was, um, I guess, made. But then my dad, with his share of the fortune, went deep on an oil drilling project in the Amazon that if it would have hit, um, it's uncalculable how much money we would have had, but it didn't hit. So he lost most of his money. And luckily, my mom was in the thoroughbred race industry. Her grandfather, I think his name was Horatio Luro, was one of the top thoroughbred trainers in the world. So my mom actually supported us, and she was just a fucking hillbilly from Georgia. You can't deflect with Jesse Lee Peterson. He's too smart. You got to go with what he's asking. Well, you're right, but I also think Dr. Chow that he's a troll. He's Alex Stein. He's Wally George. If you get that reference, um, I don't think he believes half the shit he says. But I rolled with it. I mean, when he kept asking me if I like white people, I gave an honest answer. I like all people. And, really, you guys know me. The only people I don't like are the people who burn me. And very few people burn me. Um, I'm saving up to buy my own FedEx building. Good. Well, there might be one for sale in Florida. I'll give you a good deal on it. Uh, yeah, I mean, I had fun with Jesse. I mean, he had sent me, "Are you ready to rock?" $5. You're being very generous. Are you ready to rock? Thank you very much. Um, don't scare me like that, Chris Mack. Jesse had sent me an interview he did with Jamie Kennedy, and he or whoever his producer, I mean, it was under his Instagram, um, say, "Hey, you should look at this so you know what you're getting yourself into." And I didn't. I like to go in blind. I like to go in where it's organic. I'm not expecting a certain line of questioning. And after about 10 minutes, I'm like, man, I wish I watched that Jamie Kennedy interview. But I adapted. Yeah, but I picked up the vibe like 3 minutes in. I picked up the vibe when, now I was the third interview he had done that day, so he was a little tired, I think. But I picked up the vibe as soon as he said my name was Earl something. um, but he was very cool. And I love Michael Bean. I'd love to get on his podcast. But I don't watch people's podcasts. I like to come in and where it's organic and you get a general reaction. And like some of the questions he was asking me, I kind of was stuttering, trying to think of an answer that's not going to get me in trouble. It's easy for you guys to say, uh, you know, hey, you should have said this, you should have said that. I mean, and even though the jellies probably isn't coming back, it's never been canceled. So, I can't really go that crazy and say I love white people, and then you know, I don't know, Tyler, the creator's manager, sees that and goes, "We ain't using this guy again." Now that's probably not going to happen, but I got to be a little careful. Unfortunately, sometimes. Um, oh, I love Jesse. Yeah, we had a good vibe. I mean, we really got along. What up, Mason in Portland? Uh, so I would go on again. I mean, I don't know what we, probably wouldn't be for a while because I don't know what we would talk about. Hey, hit the like button, pretty please. Um, and he was very nice to me, So that once again, I, that's the only people I have problems with is people who aren't nice to me. Um, and to be honest with you, 98% of the people I deal with, maybe even 99% of the people I deal with, are very cool. Are you ready to rock? You are really going for it. $5. How's it going? And thank you. I don't think I did this for you, William Zoom. William Zoom actually sent me a super chat via US mail. Oh, don't do that for you, please. Well, it's a rule. Good afternoon, Jenny Jingles. What up, Doom? Toto Payne Diaz. Cool colleagues, even dabble. I know. I'm very lucky. I have two of them. But I'm sure if I called Steve Stevens, he'd hook me up. I'm sure he has a few left over. And he's so fucking nice. He would hook me up. Well, I think I'm a interesting guest to have on Jesse's podcast because I'm really in the middle. I'm not voting this year. Um, so, he can't really swerve me to one side of the fence. Um, Have you ever done any drugs? I have not. I've never done anything. Not. I've never even had a cigarette. Now, most people assume because of how I talk, my slow speech, that I'm on some sort of marijuana or edible, but I'm not. I mean, are you ready to rock? Have you been listening to me for a long time? I think, I'm 56. That's why I don't look like I'm 100. I've never had anything. The worst thing I put in my body, and I admit it, is this shit. Um, Earl's only drug is old lady poontang. Well, it's usually young lady poontang, but poontang is poontang. Um, so I mean, it's not great. I mean, it's got a shit ton of vitamins in it, but it's probably not the best thing for me to have. Um, I mean, I just grew up in the '80s on the Sunset Strip, so I think it was ingrained in my head to love '80s butt rock. And of course, with the advent of MTV, bands like the Cars, um, and Gary Newman and other bands like that were really at the forefront. So I was, if I grew up maybe in the '70s, I mean, I was alive in the '70s, but I really wasn't listening to music. But I absolutely grew up with, '80s butt rock. Rats video Round and Round was on constantly. Motley Crue Smoking in the Boys Room on constantly. By the way, I was offered to go see Motley Crue at the Roxy for $750. Hard pass. Well, but I wasn't really necessarily a fan. I mean, Kiss was so big that you were forced to listen to them. I mean, people kind of forget. I would say from '77 to Dynasty, it's really only 2 years. They were the biggest band in the world. They were like the Beatles. Yeah, I mean, I saw um, Motley Crue um, 2015, and it wasn't good. I can't imagine 10 years later they're going to be very good. Now, thank you. Are you ready to rock? It's your fifth super chat today. I appreciate it. Super chat economically, please. I feel like I should give a public service announcement. It's like the little gambling warning at the end of the DraftKings commercial. And I would not pay. I would not go for free if this guy offered me a free ticket to see them. And these tickets are hot right now. Like, I've tried to get my friend a ticket for the Troubadour show, and it's 2,000 for the Troubadour show. I was in the Kiss Army. Hello. Actually, I was in the Kiss National Guard. Boing. I saw Vince Neil and Stephen Pearcy play at Alice Cooper's restaurant slash club in Phoenix in maybe 2000. That's where that picture of me and Pearcy when I had the blonde hair. William, I'm going to beat. No. I mean, let's all get along here. Well, economic chats without strategies. Not sure what that means. I mean, I would say Piercy, even back then, I mean, he definitely had some shows where he was a little wasted, but now he's, stone cold sober. Vince is just, it's just not, I mean, I am a little curious to see um, what John Five, is like. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Motley Crue with John Five, but I'm not going to pay $750. I will be at the Whiskey A Go Go Thursday night working the merch for the great '80s band The Zeros. Their bass player Danny Dangerous is the sound guy at the Comedy Store. So. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see. I mean, I love Mick Mars as a guitar player, so I would say John Five might be a little like more technical than Mick Mars, but I don't think when you're watching Motley Crue you care about the technical precision of the music. It's like Eric Singer is a much better drummer than Peter Criss, but somehow it's just not the same. And the same with all the guitar players they've had, from Vinnie Vincent to Mark St. John to Bruce Kulick to Tommy Thayer. Um, it's there's just something missing because it wasn't Ace. What's the scariest thing I've ever seen? Uh, I mean, I don't know if this is answering your question, but when I got caught in a uh, current, Santa Monica Beach, I was literally being pushed out to sea, and I was completely powerless. So the scariest thing I ever saw was the uh, shoreline about a mile away from me, and it was getting. And finally, the lifeguard had this huge voice. He's like, because I kept swimming straight ahead, it was just making it worse. Like the fly trying to get out of the glass and in the same spot, and then he kept motioning side, side, and I was so fucking scared because I was just on a boogie board, uh, and so I started swimming to the side, and so that's the scariest thing I've ever seen, was that visual. Like I can feel myself on that boogie board right now. I did know that Adam Schlesinger wrote some songs, I believe, on "Greetings from Emery House," which was their big, well, not big, but like it was what the Click Five is most known for. Just the Girls on that, the song they wrote with Paul Stanley, um, "Angel and You, Devil and Me," with Elliot Easton doing the guitar solo. Um, Now they had another album, I think it was called TCV, the Click Five. That checks out. That the new singer, Eric Dill, left the band to be an actor. I don't think that quite worked out for him. I'm not clowning on him, but it just, it's a tough business. He's in a relatively successful band. I'll give him the props for fucking saying, fuck it, I want to act. And then Kyle Patrick came in, and his voice was a little deeper than Eric's, actually a lot deeper. So like Just the Girl didn't sound the same, but they were still big in like Indonesia. Like they played like not stadiums, but arenas in Indonesia, even when they were like, on their way out. But the Click Five, they were a good. The hell was that? Um, this just randomly dropped off my desk. Dewdrop. Hello. Um, uh, they went to the Berkeley Music Institute, so they could play their fucking songs. Like they were like the Backstreet Boys, but play their own instruments. And man, anyone who doesn't like that song, Just the Girl, man, you ain't fucking human. I mean, I won't say I thought I was going to die, but it was scary. It was. I mean, literally, I could see myself on that boogie board just going backwards, and I was with Gail, Lois's mom at the time, and even she was getting a little scared. And then, luckily I just started, once I started swimming to the side instead of straight ahead into the current basically pushed me back to the shoreline when I started going like parallel. So I was very lucky. Thank you. Are you ready to rock for 2 super chat or super stickers? Hey, you. And I know you don't like the ray gun, so I won't do it. Are you afraid to die? Not really. I mean, I know it's going to happen, but I'm, I could see myself living another 30 years, so I don't think about it. Now, maybe when I'm 75, I might, oh man, I think I'm close to dying, but I have to do the ray gun. I have to do it. It's my thing. Um, Maybe only the ray gun for super chats over $5, just to appease both sides of the party. I do dream, but it's not very memorable. Like I'll wake up and I'll have like a screenshot of whatever I dreamed about. Um, whether it be, and I'll have weird dreams. Like I dreamt the other night I was on the LA Kings and I was sitting next to Kopitar on the bench, and that's all I remember. Like that I mean, do you want the ray gun? Are you ready? Thank you very much for um, the super sticker, I guess that would be. Vaxxed oldies, likely rare. I'm not sure what that means. You ever go to those Korean spas in LA where there are a bunch of pools and stuff to soak in? The last time I went on a date with a yoga teacher. Oh, I don't know, maybe 2018, early 2018, and we went to the Korean Wi Spa, WI, and are you ready? Thank you very much. I appreciate all your super chats and super stickers. Thank you very much. Um, and this place was awesome. They had like a refrigerated room, and then they had a room where it was hot rocks. Was the whole room. So when you walked in, you sunk, and you would just lay on them. They had pools that looked a little nasty, and the jacuzzi I wasn't getting in. And you had like not homeless people, but some real sketch people just sleeping in the lobby. And so I would not go back, to be honest with you. But whoa. Um, but it was fun. I was really into that girl. So no problem, Dr. Nova. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button. So it was kind of erotic at the same time. And then we went on one other date, and then she ghosted me. I really thought she was going to be my next girlfriend. I mean, our first two dates were like 12 hours each date. No awkwardness, but definitely one of the more weirder dating experiences for sure. I gotta go. Are you ready? Thank you very much for all the tipping. Yeah, unnecessary, but I very much appreciate it. And we'll see you soon. I'm not sure when we're going to do this again. Um, no, I think I always thought it weird, William, that I would go on. Thank you. Are you ready? On your way out the door. Thank you. I always thought she was a lesbian. Yeah, I mean, you might be right. I mean, because she never had a picture with dudes. Um, so I think maybe she was like, yeah, I'll date this guy. He seems pretty cool. And thank you. Are you ready? I appreciate that. But I don't know. I literally haven't talked to her since our last date. We were at Mel's Diner like 6 in the morning. We were making out like school kids for like 2 hours in the front booth, and like it was like one of the most romantic things I've ever done with a girl. Like it was like a movie. And then I dropped her off and never saw her again. She like completely ghosted me. Um, got to go have good old gala days, boys. You too. Are you ready? Well, I mean, it happens to me a lot, but it's all right. Would you bang Kim Congdon? I mean, we're almost like brother and sister. But she's hot. I mean, she's definitely not. I mean, I think if we didn't know each other, we'd probably bad kisser. Hello. I mean, I get a lot of repeat business, so I don't know if I would agree with you, Toto Payne Diaz. I don't know. I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, it's definitely still a weird one. When I look at weird breakups, or not that it was a breakup because we really weren't. Um, I guess you wouldn't say we were dating, but it was only two dates. But definitely one of the weirder endings to any person I've dated. But that's it's just the way it is, I guess. Welcome to Hollywood. I've met Kim's sister, but I don't recall really what she looks like. I mean, I met her at the Comedy Store, and I do remember her being cute. And I love Kim's vibe, but I think she's in Austin now. So, um, and I'm sure she's killing it at the mothership. I mean, she's definitely, I think, the type of girl that the mothership crowd likes. I mean, she's almost misogynistic herself. And she's got the weed thing going. And she's been on Rogan a few times, I think. So, um, I could see Kim doing quite well there. And she's awesome. She's really nice too. And great body. I mean, she does like jujitsu and shit. So, mothership most welcomed venue. Well, I don't know about that, Staggy. Mothership. I mean, I'd been to the mothership. I was very welcomed there. But I also knew a lot of the staff because the managers from the Comedy Store. I think three of the waitresses are from the Comedy Store. The bookers from the Comedy Store, and I would say, I was on Brian Holtzman's show, so obviously me and Brian are very good LA comedy friends. Um, so it really didn't feel like I was playing a club in the middle of Texas. Would you let a down on their luck comedian from the middle of the country swing state that's currently without a permanent residence move in with you temporarily? No, I'm a loner. Oh, thank you, Clayton. I had a good time. I mean, uh, I would do that again. Um, I mean, Jesse's he's a character. He's definitely a provocateur. He's really primetime Stein with a darker skin tone, I guess. So, um, it's my goal now from here on now to get on bigger podcasts and just I got to get out there a little more. So, I mean, I've already picked up a couple followers from Jesse's show. So, uh, oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I would absolutely uh, help a comic out. I would give them clothes. I remember that kid. Of course, I have size 13 feet, so it's hard to give shoes away. But um, I would help a comic out. But uh, I'm almost at a zone, unfortunately, of like, why don't people help me? You know how many comics I know who have huge podcasts, and they don't owe me anything. But it'd be nice for once for someone to go, "Hey, Skakel, why don't you come on the pod?" Have you ever seen Stein's show? I've watched bits and pieces of it. Um, hello. Yeah, 100% I'm too nice. I get walked on a lot, but I'm getting better. I'm getting better at that. Just you can't change, who you are overnight, especially in this business. But stand-up comedy toughens you up, and certainly the internet toughens you up. But I don't really, like I won't look at the comments on like Jesse's, the episode he posted on his page, because I'm sure half of them are this guy sucks. He won't say I love white people. He's racist against whites. I know how political trolls operate. But that's who Jesse wants. So, oh, I would love to do Tim Dillon's podcast because I think Tim would wind me up, ask me about certain things. I mean, if you know me, which he doesn't really, to be honest with you, then you know what questions to ask me to get me going about certain topics and people. And, that's why I think me and Joe would be a great podcast because, Joe's a very good interviewer. He doesn't get the credit for that. Uh, Comedy Patsies Park Cars. Well, I think I saw one comment, as a notification. It said, Earl's a nice guy, but he's a beta. I don't even know what that means, to be honest with you. I'm assuming it means I'm a cuck of some sort, but I'm really not. I mean, he asked me a question, I gave him an answer. I'm not because I really do like all people. So like black people, Mexicans, whites, Jews, Christians, conservatives, Democrats. Oh yeah, I know. I mean, and are you voting for the Great White Hope? I love Jesse, but I also get what he's doing. Like, I don't. I think some of the people, like my friend Anthony in Vegas, he sent me a bunch of clips um, of people walking off. And it was mostly black people walking off Jesse's show. And I get it. He's literally a troll. He's trying to get a reaction out of you. But I enjoyed the conversation. Um, well, I mean, but that's how I believe. Who knows? Maybe he's right. Maybe that's why I don't have a girlfriend right now. Or the last few of, I guess you'd say they left me. So, um, oh, I laughed a few times and it was genuine. And from what fans have DM'd me, uh, basically they all said, probably 7 or 8 fans were like, "Dude, we've never seen him laugh that much." So, thoughts on David Lucas trying to make kids watch porn on a podcast? I don't think of David Lucas, to be honest with you. It sounds like something he'd do, um, but maybe you know, take care of the kid you have. I don't know the context of what you're talking about, so um, but I mean, Jesse's very smart. He's very calculated, and you probably wouldn't think he's calculated, uh, but um, he isn't just saying that shit just to say it. He knows what audience he's going for, and he's got it. I mean, what the Fallen State, and I think YouTube page has like 595 or something like that thousand subscribers. I've got 2,500. So, oh yeah, I mean, but I think if you can play along, that's why I love Alex Stein. Um, I didn't, Staggy. Can you send it to me on Twitter? Um, I've been knee deep in hockey because this is I think tonight's the last preseason games for everyone, and then the Kings start the season next Thursday in Buffalo. Kings are on a 7-game road trip. They are in Quebec City right now. Um, so I had never heard of Jesse and I wish I knew the fan. The fan really reached out to me and reached out to Jesse and said, "Hey, you guys should collaborate." And you know, we did, and I think it went as good as it could have. Um, well, I think, and even when he starts losing, like I saw one, he had some really smart, very well educated black dude on it recently too. This guy was kind of killing Jesse with like pure facts. Um, and Jesse kept going, "I rest my case," even if it had nothing to do with what they were talking about. Um, so um, I think he's a provocateur, and that's there's definitely a market for he's kind of like he should have his own show. You imagine the Fallen State on late night TV. Like if I'm a TV executive, I'm going, this guy's going to get us ratings. He might cause a lot of people to not watch the network, but 3 times as many are going to want to watch it. So, um, he was good to me, and his staff was very cool, and I would absolutely go back. And I think it would be even better because now that I really know what he's about, I could play with him a little bit more. Um, yeah, no, I mean he's got great save lines. Uh, well, I mean, he's definitely like he's really a combo, like I said earlier, of Morton Downey, Wally George, a little bit of Jerry Springer, with some of the wacky questions, a little Sean Hannity, um, Michael Savage. If you know who Michael Savage is, he's a real. He just says shit out, just to get a reaction out of people, and a little bit of the cynicism of Art Bell. Like so that's great. I mean, look at all those people he's a combo of, at least to me, and they're all successful legends, really, in the radio business or podcasting world. I mean, even Stein is, he, we, you say the name Alex Stein, you're like pimp on a blimp. So um, he's uh, I enjoyed it, and I mean, Savage is a bit much for me. Yeah, do. I love that. I downloaded that song. No, but my highlight of my week when I was really first formulating a plan to get into stand-up was Sunday nights from 7 to 10, the Matt Drudge show, and then from 10 to 2, Art Bell, and then from 3 to 6, I guess it was William Bennett. I literally would stay up from 7 at night to, you know, at least get through the first hour of William Bennett. Um, I think my favorite JLP quote is, "Did Big Mama Obama eat all the ribs?" Like what? I was like, "What?" And I noticed he asked Jamie Kennedy that question too. Um, why, like Art? I bring up Jesse being a little bit like Art Bell because Art Bell was a troll with his callers. Like I don't think Art Bell believed half the shit he said, but he would kind of troll his own listeners, which I thought was funny. And you know, like I remember one guy called up after the space shuttle blew up, and this guy was like you could tell he'd been drinking. And he's like, I think Al Qaeda shot the space shuttle out with a laser beam. And Art Bell's like, yeah, I heard they were working on that in Iran, I believe. Like totally trolling the guy, goofing on him. But the guy got all excited and he talked for another 10 minutes. Um, I love Matt Drudge. Like he is who I picked up a lot of stand-up nuances from because he was a troll with the callers because I don't think his primarily Republican fan base knew he was gay, and they probably wouldn't have listened to him if they knew that, and he knew that. So the way he would troll them was so funny to me, like his catty zingers he would throw out. Um, I think Jesse Lee is a lot like I've seen American Psycho easily 100 plus times, and maybe another 100 partially. And I still don't know if that movie's real or not. I still don't know if Christian Bale was imagining it or if he actually did all those murders. And I think that's Jesse Lee Peterson. There were some things he said was like, oh, he really believes in social injustices against white people. um, and then he would say other, like the Big Mama Obama thing. Like, okay, he's just trying to um, do shtick right now. I love that movie. I mean, it's a movie like Casino and Goodfellas that I can watch it if it was on right now. I would still. Heat is another one, not the Burt Reynolds Heat. Amazing. Um, so the Daddy, that was fun watching. Oh, thank you very much. I mean, I hear what Kip. What does the book say? That he did do it. I mean, I would say the movie kind of left it like he didn't do it because when he walks up to that guy at the end of the movie and says, "I killed Paul Allen," and the guy's like, "I just had lunch with him last week." Um, and of course, Less Than Zero is really meant a lot to me because that was my club life in the '80s. I mean, that movie was so accurate in terms of how many parties I went to that were like the one in the very beginning of the movie with the TVs and the neon and hundreds of kids, Bel Air, Beverly Hills kids. Have you seen the Matt Walsh Am I Racist? Amazing. I don't know. Someone sent me a documentary accusing Jesse of some pretty bad things. I watched that. Of course, that was 2 days after I did the podcast. Um, RIP Oh, Rip, yes, the great James Spader. And of course, Michael Bowen has, no, who was, Rip was Michael Bowen. Um, what was James Spader's name, in, Lesson Zero? But I mean, the amount of times I went to Palm Springs to go to a house party or you start at a gallery like they did in the movie. And, okay, but who was Michael Bowen, the bodyguard? Uh, well, it's funny. The other night, you bring up the Brat Pack. Um, I'm at the tattoo shop on Sunset visiting my friends who own it. And the owner of the tattoo shop, we're all talking. And there's a guy sitting across from me, and he kind of looks familiar, but I just, it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, so I was a little tired. And it was Judd Nelson. And it was so funny because I had just read an article on the Billionaire Boys Club, Joe Hunt, in which Judd Nelson played in the first movie about the Billionaire Boys Club, which I believe was on NBC, and I thought was much better than the movie. I think that the big movie that came out. But what was Michael Bowen's character's name in? Okay, right, I forgot about that. And I had seen Robert Downey Jr. work out at the gym I worked at. It was kind of a undercover star gym. It was called Family Fitness, which was on um, Pico, Pico and Roxbury, which is in Beverly Hills. So it was basically the unofficial gym of Beverly Hills High. Don't be too scared of losing viewers, Earl. Ski Mask is fucked up doing a podcast now of 3 people. What's wrong with the blacks? Yes. JLP, um, that was he had. I noticed he had a couple go-to questions. He did not notice my mutant hog. Did you ever meet Robert Russler? I mean, I probably did. Like, I knew the Menendez brothers, to be honest with you, because Beverly Hills and Bel Air kids, we all went to the same nightclubs. We all went to the same restaurants. So we kind of, now I wasn't like great friends with the Menendez brothers, but I would see them at parties and movies. Um, they were friends with Steve Factor, who was an heir to the Max Factor uh, fortune. I was good friends with him. Seth Anderson, who was dating, I believe at the time, Michael Landon's daughter. So that was the group that I ran with. And plus, my agent and manager friends. I mean, it was really less than zero and a very fun time in my life. You weren't trying to make it as a comic or, you had a job at a gym and your sole purpose was to make enough money to get some pussy. So my life really hasn't changed. Hello, boing. Didn't one of the Max Factor heirs get into big trouble? It wasn't my friend Steve. Might have been someone in his family, but um, I still want to know if you love white people. I love all people. And I think the Fallen State, aka Jesse Lee Peterson, just released a clip on YouTube of me on the hot seat, which was the end of the um, program. So if you just want to skip right to that, you can. I think he released it this morning. Did you know Jamie Gertz is a billionaire now? I did not. I auditioned to with her to do a movie. She was going to play Gilda Radner. I don't know if the movie was ever made, but I forget the role I was, but I was her best friend or something. And then we never, never got to meet her, but I was excited because I had a cry. I mean, I almost said Jamie Lee Curtis, Jamie Gertz and Less Than Zero. Like I said, I don't have a type, but she was like, wow. Oh, good for her, Staggy. Good for her. Blabby cow eating cabbage. Toto, I'll have what you're having. Yeah, I mean, I think she was in that movie with Amanda Peterson from Can't Buy Me Love with Roy Scheider about the Harvard debate team. I don't know if I'm imagining that or not. You like Van Morrison? Not Are You Ready? I thought you left. It's good to have you back, though. Not really. I like Van Halen um, and Van Hagar, but not so much Van Morrison. I'm not like against them. I just, I'm not into that hippy dippy, progressive, you know, save the world type music. Woodstocky type music. I like Hendrix from that era, and then shit like Boston and are you ready? Back in business. $5. Let me hear you holla before we end the stream in 5 minutes. Uh, let's thank all the tippers, which I believe. Um, Stagwar, thank you very much. And are you ready to rock? Maybe setting an all-time Earlverse record for most number. I think you did 10 super chats today. Thank you very much. I love you. Are you ready to rock? Van Hammer, one of the great bad wrestlers of all time. He had the look, he had that Ultimate Warrior, Shawn Michaels esque look, but he just really was nothing more than a jobber. Thank you very much. Are you ready? I appreciate the very generous stream you've given me today. Yes, Kip Smith and Williamson. We got two moderators in here right now. Listen to any 80s Kiss lately. I listened to all of Crazy Nights the other day. It's such a great album. It is a great Bon Jovi album. I think most of those songs were probably throwaways to Bon Jovi, and Desmond Child just said, "Here, I wrote this for Bon Jovi. You guys use it." Now, the biggest mistake on Crazy Nights was, and Ron Nevison didn't want the song on the album, and it was later then given to um, the German band Bonfire, was Sword and Stone. I feel the power running through my bones. I am the sword, you are the stone. It's a great song, and there is a demo version of it with Paul Stanley singing on YouTube. That's a pretty fat demo version, so check that out. And also the Desmond Child song "Time Traveler." I'm a time traveler, and I'm looking through your eyes. Time is no hero. What about the chicks from Night of the Comet? Well, what was her name? Catherine something. She was also the makeup girl that Rutger Hauer blew up in the very beginning of Nighthawks. Catherine, she was fucking beautiful. And she seemed like the type that would still be beautiful today. Yes, Catherine Mary Stewart. Queen on, $4.99. Are you ready to rock? Doesn't like the Zoom, the laser beam ray gun, but I know you do, Queen on. I like whoa, my my brother. Um, I like Just What I Needed. I like most of the Benjamin Orr songs. I don't mind you coming here and wasting all my time. 'Cause when you're standing oh so near, I kind of lose my mind. Yeah, it's not the perfume that you wear. It's not the ribbons in your hair. I don't mind you coming here and wasting all my time. Hit it, Greg Hawkes on keyboards. Do, 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 do. So thank you very much, Queen On. I like Just What I Needed, My Best Friend's Girl, Drive, some off the record choices. You Are the Girl, which is maybe the most sexually innuendo video based of all time. Oh yeah, she was in Mischief with Chris Nash. I thought Chris Nash would be a star, but I think that might have been his only movie he did. Earl is amazing tonight. What the? I know how liberals say these conservatives on radio just say words to steer shit up. But I never hear them say that about progressive pushing media in our current administration. Well, but I mean, I'm talking about Jesse Lee Peterson. Like, he definitely says some shit to stir the pot, baby. Um, like at one point, he was basically trying to get me to say the N word. And he said, well, what's wrong with that? I said, nothing, as long as the windows are up. Hello. Phoebe Cates, beautiful. I'm going to die soon. Don't say that. Are you ready to rock? Don't ruin the buzz after a good, an all-time super chat record for you. I loved Phoebe K and Betsy Russell in Private School, and a great song by Phoebe K's. How do I let you go? Are you ready to rock? $5. Yeah, just what I need live. That was a bop. Earl gets my inheritance. Well, send it to PayPal it to eastskakel@aol.com. Thank you very much. I'm going to have that in will form, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I wish Judge did Sunday nights. The special is coming along. If Are You Ready to Rock keeps this pace up, I might just do it in my living room. Betsy Randall from Boy Meets World was hot. I'm trying to think I mean, obviously Jenny Wright in The Wildlife. I mean, not necessarily pretty, but like super cute. Jennifer Connelly in Opportunity Knocks. I mean, like I said, I don't have a type, but brunette, big jugs, like boing. Amanda Peterson in Can't Buy Me Love. I mean, once again, I don't have a type, but this Wednesday sucks. I'm not sure what that means. Are you drinking? Are you ready to rock? Are you going to regret these super chats when you wake up tomorrow? Oh, weed. That's all right. I'm open. I love documentaries. Of course, I need a new one to glom onto. Now that the Wonderland Murders is gone. So good for you. Are you ready to rock? I don't want you to, but I want you to also be financially responsible. So, all right, you kids, this has been a very nice stream. Yeah, 70 Stevie Nicks. Earl, no, I'm out of the lady business right now. Good for you. Then send more of it then. Who was only 16 in the movie? Amanda Peterson? Hope you're not in the dude business. I am not in the dude business. I'm taking a break from girls, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm taking care of business still. Are you ready to rock? $10. Number one fan you might be. Are you ready to rock? Shout out to Are You Ready to Rock? You're not fucking around. I mean, I know Are You Ready to Rock is killing it right now. I know Amanda Peterson. Yeah, I just I talked to Court McCowan about it because he's a Comedy Store paid regular, and he was Quint and Can't Buy Me Love. The good-looking, cocky guy, and just a sad. I mean, she. The business just chewed her up. I mean, you saw what the business did to fucking Jenny Wright. She quit the business and fucking moved to a goat farm in New York. Jesus. Well, I was going to end the stream, but I don't. Well, you know what? I'm going to end the stream because I don't want to milk Are You Ready to Rock? Well, because I want to watch the hockey game, to be honest with you. Now, if you guys don't mind, I will keep the stream going. And but I might have but I'm not in it for the money. I'm not streaming for money. I'm not streaming to bilk Are You Ready to Rock for more money. He's given me quite enough. So let me do this. Let me turn the game on, and you guys tell me if the volume's too loud. Okay, the Kings are playing the Florida Panthers. You're horny. Well, That's about the only thing I can't help you with, brother. I'll give you all your super chat money back if you're horny and expecting to get it wet. Okay, so let's. I'm just trying. I taped the game, so we're going through a little of the commercials here. Now, you guys, be honest with me. Is the TV too loud? You tell me. Is the TV too loud? I mean, because Are You Ready? I might do a 12-hour stream. I might do a win by two, Melton. Oh, you can't hear it. Okay, well, um, we'll just keep the stream going then. Until we go until we go. The Kings and the Florida Panthers playing in Quebec City, home of the Quebec Remparts, the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Let me get some water. I wasn't expecting to talk this much. My throat is parched. I believe they are in Quebec because thank you. Are you ready to rock? They are doing repairs to crypto.com arena and Queenon $1.99 destination Ruby 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 Soho. I might have to take the rest of the week off. Feed Earl Man, yes. But for those of you intimidated by Are You Ready to Rock's generosity tonight, like I said before, there's many ways to help the stream. You could retweet the Jesse Lee Peterson episode. You could comment on that video. Get me in the algorithm there. Or comment after the stream is over. There's many ways. Feed my favorite Jew. Thank you, Laheim to life. Are you ready to rock? And thank you, Queenon, very much. You guys are making Daddy want to do streams again. I'm just kidding. Kings, this is thank Are you ready to rock? Thank you very much. Kings are addressing basically their regular season lineup. Anders Lee was the big surprise making it out of training camp. And I believe the Panthers look like they are dressing their regular season, what they will most likely dress in the regular season tonight. Now, I don't know how intense this game will be. Boulder Johnny in the motherfucking house. $5. Earl, what's wrong with black people? LOL. Are you ready to rock, man? You are breaking chat records, super chat records that may never be seen again in this stratosphere. Certainly not in the Earlverse. But I can't say that word. But you JY that word. Fuck all these peoples. Well, no, I like. That's your problem if you used to live in Sacramento. Hello. Kings got some added toughness this year. We got Tanner Janot, who's a pretty tough dude, and Joel Edmondson, who is he's no joke. So it's got 0-0 with 17 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the game. in the first period. Yeah, I mean that's AC/DC. What's the Are You Ready to Rock? Thank you. What are the first two? I guess Thriller, I guess, would be up there. And the scary thing is that I would guess that Thriller probably still sells a couple 100,000 records a year. Even a record like Boston's, Boston. I would guess that probably sells 20 to 50,000 units a year still. Everyone wants to hear More Than a Feeling. I see my Marianne walking away. Vanilla Ice probably makes a few bucks, to be honest with you. Ice Ice Baby is just, I don't know if Suge Knight still gets a cut, but who wins Cowboys or Steelers? I mean, Pittsburgh should win, but Dallas is hungry, and I mean the Steeler defense is certainly one of the better defenses in the league. Of course, they had a little setback last week, but they almost won that game. They came back. I'm not really sure on Arthur Smith's offensive prowess. I mean, they seem to kind of be along the lines of Matt Canada. So we'll see what happens. But what's the second album of all time? All I want is a peace of mind. I mean, the Cars. That first album, there's not a bad song on it. And even their last album in '87 with "You Are the Girl," they had clearly checked out at that point, but was still a good album. I mean, that's a great band musically. I mean, and I don't think David Robinson, the drummer, is going to remind anyone of fucking John Bonham, but I think that he is going to. He was the perfect drummer for the Cars. So we'll go a few more minutes. I'm sure this isn't exciting me watching the Kings Florida Panthers game. I want my fans to want more. And, at the end of the day, it's, I do it for the fans. I don't do it to make money. The streams, anyway. Rick Ocasek. I mean, I wouldn't say he ruined the Cars. I think what ruined the Cars was probably, a combination of, I'll guess that him and Benjamin Orr kind of had a beef with each other because, I'm sure it was tough for Benjamin Orr when everyone would just refer to Ocasek as the lead singer of the Cars, when the reality is Benjamin Orr sang on a lot of their hits. And he's probably like, hey, man, what about fucking my recognition? But I did think it was cool that they got together, I think, a week before Orr died. They got all back together to do one final interview. Are you ready to rock? $5. I mean, you're definitely setting a standard of streaming dollars. Thank you very much. Are you ready to rock? Money, honey. Here comes the money. By the way, next Saturday is going to be a very interesting day in AEW. It's the rumored debut of Bobby Lashley and maybe Shane McMahon. John Moxley has been doing these weird type of promos and vignettes saying that it's not. Hold on. Gavrikov scores. Was it tipped? It's a wrist shot from the blue line, which. Oh, no. Philip Deneau is leading the line. So, okay. More out to Gavrikov at the point, and a tip in by Philippe Deneau. So it's 1-0 Los Angeles Kings. Leah Thompson in all the right moves showed full nudity. I don't remember that. It's casual. Yeah, the great Hart Bachner. Thank you very much. Or deserved more credit and control. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely. I think that. I mean, you might be right. Maybe O'Kasich did ruin the cars because I'm pretty sure they had issues because of Orr was probably like, hey man, because that album in '86 that Orr put out, that's got some great songs. The Lace, Stay the Night, and Hold On. And if you can find it on YouTube, I think it's called Benjamin Orr's Lost Tracks. It got some great songs on it that all could have been on a Cars album. But, I'm sure Benjamin Orr was like Dave Koenig from the Killers. He's probably like, hey, fuck it. I'm just going to leave the band if my shit's not going to be used. Are you ready to rock? Thank you. I'm going to thank the tippers. Uh, Stagwar, thank you. Are you ready to rock? I mean, you're like I don't 10 super chats. Queen on, thank you. 12, 13, 14, 15. Jesus Christ. You've got Are you ready to rock? This is uh, a super chat record. 20 super chats. Thank you, Queen on. Thank you, Boulder Johnny. And I'm humbled and honored. Who knows? Maybe this is my new streaming time. Saturday afternoon around 4 p.m., 3 p.m. I'm shucking. Thank you. Stay the night. Stay the night. It's all right. And hold on. Well, you still look good to me. Hold on, be good to me. By the way, my next concert will be October 24th when I'm going to the Anaheim House of Blues to see the great Bowling for Soup. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. And Katie had a baby, so I guess time's straight. And the only thing that matters is climbing up that social ladder. Still care about the hair or the car you drive. Doesn't matter if you're 16 or 35. Reese Witherspoon, she's the prom queen. Jack Black, captain of the chess team. Bill Gates, and then I forget the rest. Are you ready to rock another $5? Oh, good, good. Queen on $1.99. Stay the night. It's all right. Well, Bowling for Soup is kind of power pop with a sense of humor. I love Jews. I love white people. There, you got me to say it finally. Are you ready to rock? Someone clip that and send it to Jesse Lee Peterson. I love white people. We'll get a clean. The voiceover world, they do everything in three. So clip this. Someone send this to Stalin or Doom or Zoom. I love white people. Amazing. Yeah, I mean, we'll go to Are You Ready to Rock? But see, I don't want to bilk. I don't want to bilk. Are You Ready to Rock? I mean, I'm not Steel Toe or any of these other streams that literally just stream for money. And I get it. Hey, it's Steel Toe's made money off of it. I'm never going to run out of money. Well, I hope not, for my sake. Hello. Thank you, Animal Mother. I'll try not to hurt anyone. Take the money and keep singing. I might have to sing Just the Girl by Click the Five. I'm in a good mood when I'm singing that. I can only sing songs I know the words to. I do like that song, Stacy's Mom. Stacy's mom has got it going on. Stacy's mom. Yeah, well, I don't grift. I don't want to. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. It would be nice to make a little more money doing streams just because I mean, it's not hard work, to be honest with you. Um, it's, but, I've still yet outside of this particular stream, um, I haven't quite found the sweet spot for making a few dollars. Uh, I know. Yeah, he was. Please be, Boulder Johnny. Where does he publish? He has a YouTube page called The Fallen State. Um, let me. Well, I don't want to ruin the good Wi-Fi by opening up my iPad, but if you go on The Fallen State, look up The Fallen State, Jesse Lee Peterson on YouTube. That's where he publishes all the shows. Um, did that press con or is that rally start yet? Maybe when it goes, we'll go. There's 11 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first period. We will go to the end of the first period. And I took your link and watch. Oh, I mean, when does he? I think he releases the podcast every Friday at 11 a.m. my time. He does a teaser on Wednesdays at 5 a.m. Well, I mean, it depends what neighborhood you're in. Like, I live in a predominantly white neighborhood, so most of my problems are white people. And, that's not me saying that to be politically correct, but, I'm sure if I lived by SoFi Stadium, most of my problems would be black people. Uh, so, okay. Is it who's televising it? And the Florida Panthers just scored. Alexander Barkov with a very nice move, backhander. Trevor Lewis let him get away from him. The great Shane Rallies. David the Cop and Wildlife was. Hart Bachner was from Sacramento. I did not know that. I didn't know anyone was from really Sacramento. I mean, Sacramento is kind of like Vegas. I mean, no one's from Vegas. Well, Brandon Flowers is. No, he was from Utah, I think. But the Killers were formed in Vegas. Eagles' greatest hits, Thriller, and the right. Like, I don't know if Jesse Lee Peterson would do well at the spot I have tonight. Going on last in the main room. You got to really be a skilled comic to keep the crowd from walking. C-SPAN. Let me. Well, I am taping this game. What channel is C-SPAN on? Jeannot. What channel is C-SPAN on DirecTV? Washington this week. I don't think they are. I don't think they are taping or showing it. So I don't want to watch that shit anyway. I'm assuming Fox News is, but they don't televise everything with Trump. So, all right, we got a little bit of a break, so we'll fast forward to the attorney commercials. Get those questions ready, boys. We've got 9 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in this chat. I love watching. I don't. I mean, it's weird. He's like a weird. Like he's clearly got a lot of followers. I mean, the Fallen State show channel on YouTube has like close to 600,000 subscribers. So, he is. I don't know if he's mainstream. He's kind of like Bowling for Soup, where like Bowling for Soup are not famous, but they have a big following. So. It's all right. No need to apologize. I have the Neumann T103, which at Guitar Center, when I bought it, I think it was $1,200. They also had one that was $7,000 that I picked up first. But I Um, didn't need a $7,000 microphone at the moment. So Quentin Byfield showing some speed. Whoa! Oh man, he looks fast. Um, he's all right. Lois is having a nightmare. I mean, I like it. I mean, well, it should be. I mean, you get what you pay for in the audio, in the sound audio department. Um, now, this mic, the Blue Yeti mic, very good mic. I think this was, I think $200, something in that range. And the Shure mics I used to use for the podcast, they were like $100. And they did the job. I mean, I always got a lot of compliments on the sound of Inappropriate Earl, but I can't show you. But I have a H4n recorder that's plugged into a pro, like a Pro Core mixing board. So, and I also use Adobe Audition to tweak the sound. Um, have your likes and subs gone up since Jesse? I'm not gonna lie to you, not um I've probably picked up 10 followers on Instagram. I thought it would be a little more, to be honest with you. No problem. Uh, Probably about 40 to 50 subs on YouTube, so I'll take it. Um, yeah, I mean, the cars just, uh, they started, I think, in like 78 or 79. And so they had like a 3 or 4 year run where, new wave and kind of new wave pop were popular. And then, when you had the holy LA3 of Quiet Riot, Rat, and Motley Crue, and then Cinderella, Poison, Bon Jovi, of course, Def Leppard, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, um, you kind of just, they by the time 87 rolled around, their last album was, they were on fumes. Which is too bad because I mean, I'm glad Benjamin Orr got to do a solo record because The Lace was a very good record. And I don't know why it didn't get a follow up because those demos on YouTube of what I'm assuming were either leftover songs for The Lace or were songs for the next album. They were very good. So if you're a Cars fan, look up either Benjamin Orr Lost Tracks or I think it's Benjamin Orr Lost Tracks. You'll be it's like getting a new Benjamin Orr album. Grunge was all right. That's the music I um, got into the least. Um, I didn't really like Nirvana or any of those bands. Uh, the Neumann design for Hitler. I send me a link on Twitter, Dr. Nova. I'm always down with tweaking my sound quality here. So we got about 5 minutes left in the stream, boys and girls. Once again, thank you to Queenon, Stagwar, Boulder Johnny, and of course the legendary Are You Ready to Rock? 20 plus super chats, out of control. He is the Charleston White of Polite Society. I'm not sure. Mangala, are you new to the stream? You might be from Jesse Lee. Who knows? I personally like Orr's solo, but certainly Ocasek solo had some all about what was that one song Ocasek had? All about you. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. Do, 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 do. And I like the Cars album they did without Orr in 2011, I think. They had they had like 3 really good songs. That's pretty good for Jesse Lee. I see Jamie Kennedy had 117,000 in like 5 or 6 months, so I'd be happy with that. Now Jamie doesn't need the followers, I do. So, but to answer the question, I haven't seen like a huge bump in followers or subs, But I've seen enough where it's okay. And I think his videos, because he does a very tiered marketing strategy. Like he'll release a teaser on Wednesday, the full episode Friday, and then the next week he releases clips. So I do think that it'll be a slow build. Uh, but I also have to, I've got to start doing more. Like I'd love to get on not Tiger Belly, but Santino and Best Friends podcast. I mean, obviously Joe's, would help me the most because I know it would be a good interview. So, we'll see what happens. Which grocery store, Chris Mack? All right, we got 5 minutes left in the first period, and as soon as the buzzer sounds, I've already got the button on end stream. So thank you very much to everyone in the stream for making this maybe a record-breaking super chat stream, especially by an individual. Are you ready to rock? Breaking records. I remember it's probably one of the funniest things I've ever. When I was opening up for Rob Schneider and Jeff Richards, we were in. I think we were in Kentucky, and we got in for whatever reason at 3 or 4 in the morning. Oh yeah, I mean I can't. I'm not. Listen, if I ever started making fat money, in voiceovers, I would have the best of the best. But I'm not spending 30 grand on a mic. I mean, the Neumann 103 is absolutely. Yeah, I think Are You Ready to Rock ran out of funds, but no worries, he did above and beyond. There's no. Are You Ready to Rock? It definitely is the chatter of the stream today. But I thank everyone for listening and commenting, from William Zoom to Chris Mack to Boulder Johnny to Dr. Nova Spurk saying no Peter Chicken Man Brennan. That would be the only thing that would make this stream worthwhile. So the Florida Panthers just scored. It is now 2-1 Florida Panthers in Quebec City. They are not playing in Le Colisée. I think Are You Ready to Rock got locked out of Super Chats because the system probably saw it as spam. Geez, I hope not. I mean, that's how much he was super chatting. We got 3 minutes and 51 seconds left. Are you ready to rock? Are you alive? Are you alive? We need Bush. Anton Lindell just scored the second goal. It's 2-1 Florida Panthers. 3:51 left to go in the first period. And actually, he picked the puck out of the air. Not much you can do about that. I will be at the Comedy Store tonight, 12:15. I believe the great Bruce Gray is bringing me up. I rarely look, but I saw Bruce post that he's in the main room at midnight. So I love Bruce. I love his girl, Kelly Ryan. Check her out. Check her sister out, Allie Ryan, who is very funny on TikTok. Well, he was super chatting quite a lot. I've been to U.S. and I love. Go Maple Leafs! Welcome to the Earl Skakel Earlverse. The Bushmen love to party. We gotta rock down Bushman Avenue. Out in the streets they go higher. There's a lot of work to be done. Oh no, we gotta rock down to Bushman Avenue. Um, so Ross Incognito, thank you very much. We got 3 minutes and 22 seconds left. Not a goddamn thing. Why do rabbits have quiet sex? Because they got cotton balls. That's a tribute to the great Boom shakalaka. Rest in peace, Boone. And rest in peace, Are You Ready to Rock? You know you're super chatting too much when you get banned from the stream. Oh, 100%. And the Comedy Store is not the same without Boom shakalaka. Hello. The Phoenix Coyotes are, they're in Utah, baby. I don't know if Boone could have had his own sitcom. He was let's just say this might not be surprising to you guys in the stream, but Boom shakalaka was hard to work with. But it's 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the stream, guys. I appreciate you all. This is a fun stream. It might be, maybe I'll do Saturday streams from now on. And just we'll have to stream around Are You Ready to Rock's work schedule. Boing. You know the big difference between a big pussy and a little pussy? A big pussy will scratch you, but a little pussy won't hurt. Hello, Boone Shakalaka. For those of you not knowing who Boone Shakalaka was, he was like a crazy homeless open micer at the Comedy Store. Beloved by most, hated by a few. He did get a little creepy with Dice Clay's kids once. But he was harmless. And just another reason why the Comedy Store was the Comedy Store. You know, at the Improv or Laugh Factory, Boone would have been he would have been kicked out. They'd be like, dude, you got to get out of here. I mean, Boone would literally set up 100 CDs on the front patio counter. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Well, the funny thing is, he once walked by a car. He saw the window was open with an iPod on it, and he stole the iPod. And then he tried to sell it to Dave Taylor. Well, the problem was it was Dave Taylor's iPod. So that's a great Boone shakalaka moment. But he was a little creepy, to be honest with you. And he rubbed, he definitely rubbed people the wrong way. We believe Boone Shakalaka has passed. I mean, I haven't seen him since the pandemic, where before that, I literally never went longer than a day without seeing him. So I think he just gave it back to him. Yes. Dr. Nova, I almost want to know who you are, but I don't, because it wouldn't be the same. Here's the deal, Boone. I wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire right now. That's the great Dave Taylor. Another, we got 31.8 seconds left to go in the first period and the stream. The end stream button, the arrow is on it. So I'd like to thank you all again. I'd like to thank all the tippers from Staggy to Queen on, Boulder Johnny, and of course, Are You Ready to Rock? Thank you to Kip Smith and William Zoom for being moderators, keeping the stream real. And it's amazing how Boone never tried to steal Laney Calver's leather tits. Jesus. I just saw Laney the other night with Jer Bear. I don't know what to say to that, Dr. Nova. Peter Chicken Man Brennan, where art thou? All right, we got 22 seconds left. Kings have their fourth line out there against the Panthers. Looks like they're maybe third line. All right, we got 10 seconds left, guys. Get those last minutes. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I love you all.